Doctor, thank you so much for speaking to Nampa News. Yesterday, interesting presentation from your side, but I think let's literally start at the beginning. The vulture poisoning in Zimbabwe, in Botswana. What is the current status, the situation there?
All right. Thank you so much. And I think firstly to thank the Namibians for organizing this. In terms of the situation in Botswana, it's been getting more serious, certainly in the last 5 years. We estimate, and certainly, I mean, this is not all the records that we're getting, but at least on a monthly, if not fortnightly basis, we're getting a report of a suspected poisoning incident. And we're getting this since 2013, so almost on a yearly basis, we're seeing increases in the number of vultures poisoned. Just to give an example, just in January 2015, we had 3 reports, which amounted to more than 100 vultures killed. So it's getting more and more serious, it seems. Or at the same time, it could be that more and more people are reporting to us, and maybe this poisoning has been like that throughout. So it's kind of difficult to tell if the numbers of birds killed are increasing, but they certainly seem to be, because more and more people are telling us about birds poisoned.
But why, or who? Any indication yet?
Yeah, well, in Botswana, two main routes that we've discovered. Certainly, those that are killing large numbers all at once. The first is wildlife poachers who poison vultures to try and get rid of birds flying above and alerting security personnel. And the second is farmers who we believe, and most times we talk to, it confirms that they kill vultures mistakenly whilst trying to control mammalian carnivores. So the numbers killed, for example, would be in Kwando in early 2013, for example, where nearly 300 birds that were poisoned at an elephant carcass. And in terms of the farmers, it would be 20 odd birds, up to 100 birds killed by a farmer trying to control lions, such as happened at Lesoma, where 110 vultures were killed when somebody was trying to get at a lion.
Any programs at hand, or are you working and to prevent this in future, and perhaps educational sensitizing programs?
Yeah, there's a lot that BirdLife Botswana is trying to do. First steps was just to make the Ministry of Environment, who are the custodians of wildlife, aware of the issue. But beyond that, we've developed a two-pronged approach. The first is education, because, as I said, a lot of the farmers, we believe that they're not aware that by trying to get at that jackal or the lion, they end up killing tens, if not hundreds, of vultures. And so just by increasing awareness through brochures, we try and do radio and TV interviews, at least on a monthly basis, newspaper strips. We've produced information materials, leaflets, posters, and currently working on a DVD, which is based on a drama play that we've got a drama group to try and portray this, and they've played at various events in and around Gaborone, just to try and raise awareness of birds. We've got an event that features 500 plus school kids, where we for about 2 months we tell them about migratory birds, and then get them to have a half a day session that where they then it's about 30 or so schools that participate, and then they just share experiences with the general public attending. So this event, we moved from one village to the other, and has been running since 2010. And through that program, we have directly interacted with nearly 3,000 school kids who have interacted with this. And in the audience were easily in excess of 5,000 people that were at these events. So we are investing quite a lot in that side of things. In terms of the other component, we believe that the regulations of some of the offending chemicals also needs to be better regulated. And so we've invested quite a lot in, for example, reviewing some of the more relevant acts in Botswana, the key one being the Wildlife Act, and looking at some areas within that could be strengthened. And we're now working with the Wildlife Department so that act could be strengthened, so that poisoning becomes much more prominent, and the if somebody is found guilty of poisoning, the fines are large enough, hopefully, to deter people. And apart from that, we are working with again the Ministry of Environment to then reach out to other departments, largely the police, as well as the Directorate on Prosecutions, because there's no point in us just making farmers aware. But if the farmers continually do this, but also with the poachers that are caught, we need to then take a few of these cases to court, so that if people, more and more people get to realize that this is actually a criminal activity, hopefully that will stop or minimize some of these issues. So it's a two-pronged approach. Gently making people aware of the issue, and then secondly tightening the legislation side of things.
Yeah, you just mentioned about the dramas and the DVDs and the magazines and the radio talk shows. Is there any tangible effects that it has a positive effect on the community, understanding the value of predators, vultures in this case, and also the negative effect of just this poisoning indiscriminately?
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, we again, just to give an example from 2015, just the 3 cases I mentioned where in excess of 100 vultures were killed. 2 of them, one was a police commander in a remote corner of Botswana, just calling us out of the blue and telling us that they had come across these vultures, poisoned vultures. They had a suspect. And he wanted advice on how to proceed and how to charge that suspect. So that showed that somehow our message had got through to that particular police and that particular police station. So it shows that there is some effort. The second case I mentioned again was another, you could say, somebody from the village who had come across a poisoning incident where a mining company seemed to be, not have disposed of chemicals in an adequate manner, and that person called us to say, I've come across dead birds, and I think there's been a malpractice from a company so and so, and then we followed up with that wildlife department. So I think that just those 2 incidences in January 2015 demonstrate that indeed the message is getting out.